Hello, my name is Claire Gavin, and I am a transportation engineer living in Moyock, North Carolina. Zach Arrington asked me to share a little bit of my testimony, and I am grateful and honored to share a little bit of that with you today. For as long as I can remember, I grew up in the church, vacation Bible schools in the summer, church camps, mission trips, Sunday school, youth group, you name it. Was very involved and had a great relationship with the Lord growing up. When I went to college, it was a little bit of a different story. I like to say that I was a Christian when I came home from school, but would tell people I was a Christian at college, but did not act like it. And my priorities were a little bit misaligned when I went to school. I graduated from the University of Virginia in 2013 and moved to Virginia Beach for a job after school, and felt the tug when I graduated of the Lord calling me back, and I ignored it for a little bit. Made some friends down here, and those friends liked to party and liked to go out, and that's what I did with them. And it wasn't until I went to one of my good friends' weddings from high school and my hotel plans fell through and I ended up staying with some of her Young Life friends that I really felt that tug even stronger, and I was listening this time. And I felt this weird calling to be involved in Young Life when I got back to Virginia Beach. So I got back and reached out to a bunch of the Young Lifes in my area, the different cities, Capernaum, Young Life, Wildlife, you name it, and didn't really hear back from any. So kind of thought, well, I guess that wasn't anything. And for a little bit, kind of went back to my old ways, my old friends, and partying and drinking, and that was my priority. And it was funny after, God was calling me for a bit, and I was ignoring for a bit until finally I was like, this is not, it was not what I wanted to be doing anymore. So I actually got a new roommate who was new to the area and wanted to try out some churches, and we started trying out some churches. And one church we went to that morning, they were talking about Young Life and how you get involved in the area, and I was like, weird. I reached out to some people about Young Life, but haven't ever heard back and just kind of shrugged it off. And not even exaggeration, when I got home that afternoon from church, I got a phone call from a number that I didn't recognize, but it was the area code that we were from. So I answered it, and it was the Young Life area director for Norfolk, Virginia. And she said, it's so weird. I lost your email, but this morning I had this weird urge to find your name again and give you a call and see if you were interested. We're looking for some wildlife leaders in Norfolk. And it was such a God thing, because I had heard about it in the morning at church, got this random call, and had really been yearning for that connection with other Christians, and was ready and excited for that. So I met with them, told her a little bit about my past and my story, and gave her a little bit of my testimony, and she was excited to get me started. And leading Wildlife was crazy and fun and exciting and scary and all of these things. And those middle schoolers, man, they are something else. But it felt so amazing to be surrounded by like-minded people. And it was so encouraging to be surrounded by other Christians, and that's what I've been yearning for so long, and had been looking in the wrong places. And to be honest, was kind of ignoring it because I was having fun. As I led Wildlife, I was still searching for churches to really call my own, and that were close to where I lived. And I stumbled upon one, and they had a fantastic young adult ministry. And I really dove into that, and they met every single Tuesday, and church was on Sunday, and Young Life was on Fridays, and I was on fire again. And it reminded me of the times before college when I was so on fire for the Lord, and was so excited for what he was doing in my life and other lives, and these middle schoolers and all my friends. But one thing I really struggled with was, how do I navigate my old friendships with the friends that I'd met when I first moved here, that I used to party with. And one of my friends told me that I was in a phenomenal spot because I could shine the light of the Lord to them as I was hanging out with them, and really just embody a woman of Christ. And they would see that in me, and I could even invite them to church and encourage them, and just be their friend. And that is the best thing that I could do. And it was really cool because several of them reached out to me and started coming to church with me and started coming to the young adult ministry. And it was really a really cool God moment, just with that full circle-ness of those friendships. But even though I was, leading wildlife and really involved in my church here in Virginia, and sorry if that's confusing, Virginia Beach is right across the border from North Carolina. So my husband and I just bought a house, and we're about 30 minutes south, but everything kind of where we were involved before is in Virginia Beach. Anyway, one thing I really struggled with being involved in doing all these was the kind of the regret and the shame and the battle inside of myself with how I was in college, and what I'd missed out with my relationship with the Lord, and how I'd been running away and kind of regretting what I had done and wishing I could change it. And just that internal struggle of really being excited about God and following that relationship now, but wishing I could have had it more throughout college. And one of my friends said to me one time in our small group, when I was sharing my struggles with that, and she said, one thing that is really amazing about our God is you can run as far away as you want. You can ignore him for as long as you want to. You can not look back and just sprint away for as long and as far as you want to. And as soon as you turn around and you're ready to be with him again, he's right there to catch you. He's right there to take your hand, to embrace you in a hug. You do not have to turn around and run back to him. He is following you the entire way and is just ready for you to turn around as soon as you do. And that has been such an encouragement to me. And I've been able to share that with my friends and family and my middle schoolers about just how we can mess up and we can do the wrong thing, or we can make choices that we maybe later regret, or we can not be quote unquote perfect. And that's okay. And as shameful as we may feel, or as the regret, or, I think it's really easy to, when you're in that situation where you have messed up, or you have strayed away, or you've taken a path that has led you the wrong way, or whatever it is, I think it's really easy to hide in that shame, hide in that regret, hide in that whatever the feeling may be, and being kind of afraid to go back because you're worried about what judgment you may face from your friends, from the Lord, whatever it is. And I think, if I'm being honest with myself, that's kind of what I did. When I graduated college, I had that tug and that yearn to go back towards God and to really build my relationship, because I missed it. And I was, kind of ashamed of what I'd done in college. And I think I strayed away from that more because I was afraid of any repercussions that may have come from that. Or, I was hiding from God, which is so funny because you can't hide from him, and he knows everything, and he's right there. But it's been such an encouragement to me and to others that no matter what you do, there's nothing so bad that the Lord won't love you. There's nothing so shameful. That's not even a thing. I mean, he is there for you no matter what. And as soon as you are ready to turn around and to be close to him again, he is there waiting for you with open arms. It's been such an encouragement to me and to, my family. Wrapping it up a little bit, I met my husband through some friends of that young adult ministry. So thankful for that. And he is an amazing man. And we have been, building this little life together. We just welcomed our first baby, a little girl, this past December. We just bought a house, and we are so thankful for the Lord's provisions to us, and are so excited to see what he's going to do through us with our new little family. And one thing that's been really cool raising a tiny human is just to see her see the life, just to watch her see life through her eyes. And we're actually still searching for a church here. It's been a little tough with COVID and everything virtual and being pregnant with a newborn. But we're excited to get plugged in down here. We've met some neighbors that go to churches locally, and they've been very encouraging. And it's just really cool how God puts you in a place that you need to be when you need it. We actually before we moved, we had been wrestling with finding a new church because we had felt a little distant from our church that we had been going to. And there's always a little bit of guilt with leaving a church, but we're excited to see where this next opportunity will take us, and to raise our daughter in a church and with the Lord, and have her have a relationship with him just like we do. And one thing I'll just end with, I sing Jesus Loves Me to her every single night, and I've started since she was a newborn. And sometimes I have to listen to those words myself to have a reminder of how much Jesus loves me and how much he loves you, and how much, no matter the good or the bad, he loves you so much and loves me so much. And every night before I put her to bed, I sing that song, and she just has a huge smile light up over her face. And I hope that I can instill that in her, of how much Jesus loves her, and just how great that relationship can be. So thank you for listening. I probably was a whirlwind of things everywhere, but hopefully that made a little bit of sense and just shine a little bit of light of my life, and just how the Lord has been so faithful to me and so steadfast and there every step of the way. And that there's no shame. There's just no shame. And Jesus loves me. And I love that. Thank you.